Hello, everyone. I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha, and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. In this one, I wanted to speak to you about INFJs and smiling. I get a lot of comments from people saying something like, oh, you know what, you're not an INFJ because you smile too much. And I really am, I'm actually surprised when people say this because it's kind of interesting. They're not even using cognitive functions, which is great. If some people are like, no, you're not an INFJ because your cognitive function is not right, then it makes sense to me because they're actually using some kind of logic in order to negate the fact that I am not who I say I am. But when people just say that all INFJs have this emo-like tendency to them where they don't smile, they don't have any expressions on their face, they hide themselves, they shrink themselves up, they don't look at people in the eye, they hide from the world, all of that stuff. I understand that there are many different levels to being an INFJ as well. Like not all INFJs are as extroverted as I am, of course. Not all INFJs are capable of doing the YouTube videos or the creative work that I do every single day because, I've kind of built up to it. There's a lot of different ways in which I am not a typical INFJ either because I've taught myself to do things in a different manner over time. Even though my natural tendency, if I don't force myself, or if I don't force myself to be active, or force myself to be creative, or force myself to be extroverted, I know my natural tendency is to sit in a corner and mope about the world and think about how the world is going to shit and everything is going terribly wrong and I have no idea how to fix it, and the best thing to do is to hide in my room and not do anything. So yes, of course, my natural tendency for sure is to be mopey, to be gloomy, to be sad about the world, to be afraid for the future of the world. That's one of the reasons why I haven't had children as well. One of the reasons, one of the many reasons why I haven't had children is because I'm not sure where the world's going in the future, and I just can't imagine bringing a child onto the planet when I'm not even sure about what the state of the world will be in a few days, let alone a few years. And so I kind of find it fascinating and interesting that we will, as individuals, put people into boxes where INFJs they think are not supposed to smile. And so if you see an INFJ who smiles a lot, then they're like, no, yeah, you're not an INFJ, you smile too much. And I am just sitting there thinking, I'm reading the comment and thinking to myself, oh my God, really? Then I don't want to be an INFJ if I don't get to smile anymore, right? Because one of the reasons why I do smile a lot and the fact that I love life so much is because I'm alive, but also because of the fact that I am spending hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, guys, literally hours and hours all day long, not only meditating and reading books and things like that in order to improve myself, but also doing all of these things, all these weird techniques, yoga nidra, and all of these different kinds of yoga asanas and all that stuff to boost myself up, to boost my energetic resonance from down there where it is very low and I feel terrible about everything, to higher up where I feel a little bit more positive, where I'm less gloomy about the world, where I have more hope for the world, where I believe that the world has a long way to go, hopefully, and perhaps we haven't completely ruined everything, even though it seems like that at points in time. And so I am doing a lot of work on myself every single day in order to ensure that I don't, as I said, stay in the lower vibrations and the lower resonances, and I'm able to push myself up into a higher state. Now, of course, you have to remember as an individual, as a person who's watching my videos, you see me for 10 minutes every single day, 10 minutes out of 24-hour period where I could just do this video all smiley and giggly and then go off and cry in the corner after. I mean, like, come on. Like, you have to remember, again, as I've said before, that your perception of the world is limited. In general, as a human being, our perception of the world is limited. The way that we see the world is very much dictated by our life experiences, dictated by all of those filters that are in our eyes. We don't see anything clearly as it is. We see it filtered by our life experiences, our DNA, our upbringing, our environment, the country that we live in. All of these things are filtering the things you're seeing and making them out to be something different. So you're not even seeing anything properly, you're not even seeing anything clearly. So your filter is changing everything around. in that regard as well, you're not actually seeing me as I am or as I truly am, but also because you're filtering it and thinking, oh yeah, she smiles too much. She must be a complete idiot. Like, I'm not going to listen to her, or whatever your perception of smiling people is, right? So in general, that is also something we have to be careful about, is that we can't place these labels on people because we have no idea what they're really about. You might meet a person for half an hour, 2, 3 hours, 4 hours each week even. But in general, you're not spending 24 hours a day inside of their head. You have no idea what's going on inside of their head. You have no idea what they're truly all about because, again, you're filtering all of the stuff that you see about them through your own experiences. And then you're only seeing them for a brief period of time every single week, and that's it. So you have no idea what they're doing for the rest of eternity, the rest of the time that they're alive, right? That's one of the reasons why I'm actually really surprised when people think certain things about celebrities that they watch on TV. Because every single time I've read anything about a celebrity, I'm always a little bit skeptical about how that information was come about. How do they know that this person's actually like that? Do they watch them 24 hours a day? Do they know everything about this person? Are they married to this person or in a relationship with this person? No, probably not, right? It's not usually we just watch the person on TV a couple of times a week and we're like, yeah, I know what she's like. She's probably a big whatever. She might be this or that. We have an assumption about her or him or it. And we just make these assumptions based on a little bit of perspective, a little bit of contact, and a little bit of observation. A tiny, teeny, teeny little bit. So I really want to say this, not because I am normally not a smiley person. I am. I love to smile. Not only because I know that physiology changes psychology. It's been done, studies have been done where if a person starts smiling a lot, their physical resonance changes and they start becoming more happy. So usually what they did was that they put a pencil in between someone's teeth and that made them smile just physically. They weren't actually even smiling. They were just physically, their mouth has moved into a physical shape of a smile and their countenance changed. They felt happier. There were more hormones in their body for happiness, and their endorphins increased. There was a major bunch of changes that happened just by putting their mouth or lips into a shape of a smile. I think there's like 248 muscles that are involved or something like that in smiling or something like that. Whereas there's about like 30 or 40 muscles involved in frowning. I'm not really sure exactly. But there's a lot of physiology that's associated with smiling. So in order to make sure that my countenance and my resonance is high, I smile. Also because I love life and I'm grateful to be alive and I have a great life and I'm very lucky and blessed. So of course there's a lot of reasons for me to smile. But again, I wanted to do this video not because I am telling the world that I smile, but because I want you to realize that, again, every perspective that you have is filtered by 1,000 different things that you have no idea about. There are some things that are being passed down from generation to generation by our ancestors that we're still carrying within us, these biases that we're carrying within us from 1,000, 2,000 years ago that we had no idea that's even within us, right? And so we have to be careful of thinking that what we think is truth is actually truth. It's not. It's absolutely not. And we have to be careful about judging other people or putting other people into boxes based on these biases, which are not true, also based on perceptions of people, a brief perception, a brief contact with a person. As I said, my videos are 10, 12, 15 minutes long at most, and you see me once or twice a week perhaps, or maybe you watch my videos every day. Either way, it's a 10-minute contact between two people over a social media channel, and so it's not really a true judge of a character. You can't really know a person unless you actually are married to them and you're in a quarantine together for 24 hours a day, or if you're in a relationship with someone and you're with them all the time. It's very hard to know a person, really. Very hard to know what's going on inside of their head, what kind of experiences they've had, how they think, how their view is colored by all of their different opinions and their biases. There's so many different things that are affecting our viewpoint at any single point of time. We're all such complicated, complex creatures. And so to put someone into a box just based on one idea or one paradigm is doing them a disservice and also doing yourself a disservice. Because again, you're going to close yourself off and say, yeah, no, I don't think that person's for me based on one little idea or one little thing, just not the truth. It's not the truth. And so you're basing your ideas and your judgment about the world on false paradigms. And so that's just, I think it's such a waste of time and a waste of energy. But that's my opinion again, right? It's just my opinion, again, colored by many different things. So you can just ignore that as well because it's not the truth, right? I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions about this video or any other videos, I will share the study actually, hopefully in the link if I remember. If I don't remember, please ask me. It's a great study about the putting the pencil into the in between the teeth or in between the lips or something like that. Great study that I want to share with you. All right, that's it for me for today. I'm really grateful that you're listening, and I shall see you the next time around. Bye for now.